Hi there, my name is Rashida Banks. I'm an interior designer and home decor content creator, and I had the opportunity to tour the first ever Southern Living Adaptive Cottage in Beaufort, South Carolina in the Haversham community. I was there on behalf of GE Profile, and I'm here to show you guys and take you on a tour of this beautiful adaptive home and show you all the different adaptive elements. I had a chance to interview a few of the people that were involved in this project, and so I want you guys to hear from them, get a chance to see how thoughtfully they designed this home. And so first up, let's hear from GE Profile and how they have taken technology and bridged it to adaptive living. How is GE Profile smart home technology all related to adaptive living?
I think what's really exciting around the GE Profile brand is it's really the brand of GE Appliances that focuses on features and technology. And so we want to make sure that it has the latest and greatest features, and both in how the appliances work, but also how the owner can interact with them, right? So you can control them remotely from your phone. It's really not just around tech for technology's sake. It's around how you can make people's lives better and easier. And so sometimes it's around, hey, if I need to do this, how can I do it faster? Or if I need to do it better, how can I do that? And sometimes it's a little bit of both. And it's just really around useful things that really help them, not just something that's, cool, I'll maybe use it once and it'll go away. We really want to be that key partner that's giving owners things in their houses that they can use every day.
I love that. So it's like meaningful innovation.
Meaningful innovation, exactly.
I love that.
Historically, when you bought your appliance, that was the best it was ever going to be. But now we're allowing, just like your phone, you can upgrade new features onto your built-ins and your built-in ovens and your ranges, and it only gets better over time.
Todd mentioned how GE Profile didn't just create appliances with smart home technology just for tech's sake. They really wanted to improve the lives of those who have GE Profile appliances in their home. I love that because this particular project was in benefit of the Parkinson's Foundation.
Others have described me as the champion. So the adaptive cottage was an idea that I conceived of, came up with, and then I contacted the people I thought could help me make it happen.
That's awesome.
So I'm on the board of the National Parkinson's Foundation Development Committee, and I'm on the board of the Carolinas chapter of the Parkinson's Foundation. The reason smart home technology is so important, really just straightforward, is it makes life easier. For somebody like me that has Parkinson's disease, life presents enough challenges, so the more things that I can make easier, the better my life's going to be.
I saw you playing with the range in the adaptive kitchen.
Yes.
And you had mentioned the camera capability. Could you talk a little bit more about that, like why it's so important to you?
Yeah, the camera capability in the Smart Range GE Profile Smart Range is amazing and of interest to me, especially because getting up and down out of a chair is not always easy. If I can sit in the family room and my chicken's in the oven cooking, I can take a look at it, see if it's getting browned and cooking well. That's so much better than having to get up and down.
Yep.
And then the pot filler, I think I pointed out, which is above the range. There have been a number of people that have had bad accidents transporting hot water from the sink to the range stovetop or back and forth. So to be able to fill my pot right there at the stove and not have to transport water just makes my life easier.
So that you had your hand in a lot of the small details in the home and how you've made it adaptive. Can you talk about some of those small details?
So some of the small details that I kind of think that I feel like I may be influenced to a certain degree, some you won't see, but behind the sheetrock is what they call it in the South. Where I'm from, they call it drywall. But behind the sheetrock, we put blocking. So there's wooden blocking back there, and you might say, well, why is there wooden blocking back there? Well, then in the future, you can put a grab bar there and have something to screw the grab bar into other than just having drywall and sort of starting all over. If you look in each room, each of the house, there are going to be outlets. They're not way down low, they're higher, so I can reach right at eye level almost and plug something in without having to bend over. So the more I can be upright, the easier it is, especially if I'm shaking, the better. And then the showers, I think, are a big deal. I think the popular term is zero entry showers. There's no threshold. I don't have to step over the shower. It means a lot. It's a little thing that makes the life a lot easier.
Habersham is a mixed neighborhood, meaning we have a lot of young families, but then we also have retirees. And so you do see a lot of aging in place happening. And so with the smart technology, it just brings that even a step further in the process. And it gives those people who are aging in place the opportunity to live comfortably long term. You know, it's an interesting concept, and it's a challenge in itself because everybody's needs are different. And to design a home, you know, for a blanket need of universal design, whether that's where the outlets are placed or you know, what finishes we put in the home, that's tough. That's really tough. And so working with Eric Mosier, the architect on the project, and even the builder, we came up with these ideas that could really help people adjust over time. Some of it being textured wallpaper. You know, if someone is blind and can't see, how can we help them navigate through their own home? So you know, you start to think about all your senses and how they're used. So that was one key aspect we looked at. The refrigerator is pretty cool. Yes. I do like that. I love the technology of the stove because you can plug it into your phone, and who doesn't want to know when they're on vacation, right, oh, thank God my stove's not on, right. You know. I think all of them are really, really interesting and beautiful.
It was such a treat talking to Catherine, another designer, just talking through all the different design elements that she put through the home. Let's now hear from Southern Living themselves and kind of get into their minds and why this project was important to them.
We were very interested to help bring awareness to, you know, what are these terms and what does it actually mean. It doesn't have to be a fully ADA accessible home. And with this one, when Eric was designing it, he basically, I mean, there's just small features and a lot of them don't pop right out. They don't come right out when you walk in and you're like, oh, this is adaptive or this is an aging in place home. It's smaller things like just building a wider hallway or having the outlets raised a little bit or using levers versus knobs. The zero entry showers. So I think it's a lot of things that don't scream out at you like, oh, this is for someone who's aging in place or that has, you know, mobility issues. But there are elements that you can just go ahead and plan for to where you can stay in a home even longer as you age. I think if people have more awareness about it, they can start thinking about these things as they are doing a remodel or building a house.
Both Scott and Nicole talked about how much they love how the Southern Living Adaptive Cottage didn't feel like an adaptive facility. It didn't feel sterile, it felt like home. And speaking of the look and feel, let's actually hear from the architect who designed the home.
Well, you know, I think universal design or adaptive design bridges a very wide gap between a conventional house and one that's fully ADA compliant. They're two extremes, and they're both, you know, lovely, but I think there's an opportunity in a large demographic that can find usefulness in this middle ground.
That's great. So we're in the kitchen now, and there's a lot of GE profile smart home technology. Which is your favorite appliance in the space?
Well, I think it's pretty groovy to be able to manage your cooking with on your iPhone.
Yes.
Right. That's pretty great. They're all really nice, but that's my favorite. These refrigerators are pretty awesome too. So it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
You know, the GE products.
Yes. So can you tell me some of the adaptive elements that you've incorporated into the home?
Sure. It's interesting little features that make, I think, a lot of difference thanks to what we've learned from Scott Ryder. You know, little things like this. All throughout the house there are outlets that are raised high so you can easily plug in, avoiding this whole notion of having to bend down, which is not a really easy thing.
Right.
You know, our little sliding doors. You know, again, they're, you know, you'd think there's not much, you wouldn't think much about them, but they make quite a lot of difference for those folks that don't have great grip control.
Good to know.
Our width of our walkway, you know, it's very comfortable for you and I to walk down
together.
Lots of storage, a little place for, you know, the stand-up desk, you know, which is kind of sometimes easier than getting all the way down, you know, in the seat.
That's awesome. What about in the bathroom? I know Scott had talked to me about the bathroom and how there was some adaptive elements that were infused into the bathroom. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. You know, first and foremost, the doors are wide. And all of our showers are roll-in, so there's zero entry. And each bathroom has the opportunity to, again, the adaptive part. This bathroom has a small half wall that, upon a building, you don't have to add that half wall to kind of protect or block the toilet. So that means it becomes a fully accessible bathroom. There's a little cabinet linen closet in the other bathroom that does the same thing. If you take it out, it becomes fully accessible. But so that's the flexibility that we talk about all the way through.
I hope you guys were taking notes because Eric brought up a lot of good pointers on how you can make your home more adaptive, from smart home appliances to wider hallways to higher outlets, sliding doors. All of these elements make your home a lot more adaptive. So I hope this tour of the Southern Living Adaptive Cottage informed you of all the innovative ways that GE Profile bridges the gap between smart home technology and adaptive living. And I hope that you also are inspired by all the architectural and design details to make your home more adaptive.